John from Distress Mullet, and this is the Sonar report. I want to thank our sponsors this week, the Stand Up World Series. They're at Turtle Bay on Friday. Make sure you check it out live. There'll be some posts on the site and with the links. So what I am seeing so far this week, first of all, there is a mad rush for dates for 2014 events. A lot of people are going to the calendar, trying to figure out when they can put their events, emailing people. If you're not already on the Mullet calendar, get your event posted, submit it, it's free, and it'll give at least some people an idea when and when not to have their events. So I would go ahead and get in that mad rush. Second thing is, fall is coming. Actually, it's here. It's freaking cold here. So definitely look into Supreme wetsuits. I have a 1.5 mil wetsuit that's just so comfortable and stretchy and warm. Get that 1.5 mil shorty, short sleeve version. I think there's a couple at Carolina Paddleboard Company. Definitely get them online. They have a great selection. I love those suits. They're great. And go underneath it, look at Mysterioso. They've got the Amtech line. It's a fleece lining, and it keeps you warm in the water. It'll add at least 1 millimeter to your suit, and if you've got holes in your suit like I do in some of my older, thicker suits, it'll give it another year. So definitely recommend those. And then pull out your hoodies. I mean, you know, I have my Blue Smiths on. This has been my go-to jacket since Battle to Paddle. I really love it. I would definitely get a hold of one of those. And in response to that 99% comment that I had on the last Sonar report, I think the race series and all of the races that's really sort of developed and matured. So I think in the beginning, races were a place for a lot of us to meet people and learn about paddling. And now that it's more matured, it's almost become its own clique. I keep hearing people say, oh, I paddle, but I don't do any of those crazy races. I just go out for fun. And I just want to remind people that are going to these races, bring your friends that don't race. They don't have to race to have a good time at these events. Last week they had an event here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and they had part of it was where they had a beach ball in between everyone's knees, and they had to do these little fun races. And there's a post that Katie put this week that really illustrates that, and I think it's a lot of fun. And I think if we include these people, if we open those doors to some of this new generation and this next wave of paddlers, I think the whole sport's going to benefit. And the more closed it gets with these races and the more the racers sort of become their own clique and start getting more hardcore, the less inviting it's going to be. So for those of you who don't race, don't be intimidated by the people that are going to races or the races. Just show up. They're like-minded people, they're water people, and they'll really enjoy having you there. They'll walk you through it. And even if you don't know how to race, just think of it as like a 5K. If you've never done a 5K and you're working up to it and you just show up, you don't really have to know anything. You can walk for 8 minutes and run for 2. I mean, it's the same thing with these rec races. It's all just about having fun. Maybe putting your dog on your board or your kids on the board. So don't be intimidated by the races. It's a great place to learn stuff. Hey, there's a couple other things. First of all, having a little bit of shoulder problems. So watching what's going on behind me. All this corduroy is driving me nuts. But I'm actually going to try and drop down. I was talking to Jimmy Terrell at Quick Blade to one of his flyweights, the Flyweight Elite. I'm going to go to a smaller blade, a little bit more flexible shaft, see if that can take some pressure off my shoulders. I know a lot of you people out there have had some shoulder problems, so I'll let you know how that's working for me. Hey, just a tip for your race directors who are looking to do video for your events. If you can think of it in 3 different segments, you want one same-day edit that'll show everybody how the participants did, who finished first and whatnot, and then have them look and say, God, I wish I was there. Next year I'm going to do it. You also want a video follow-up for the next year in 2 segments. You want one for the end user, one for the person who's going to come to the race. That'll attract them, show the stuff that's going to make your race really good and your destination, a place they want to be. And you also want one for your sponsors, so that when you're trying to get people to come out and support the event, they can see how popular it is, what you have available, and also the land and stuff, and where the setting is, so they can see where they can have tents and whatnot. So when you're hiring someone to do video or you're going to do it yourself, just think of it in those segments, because there's nothing worse than getting like 12 hours of footage and not knowing what you're going to do with it. And then 5 months later, you've got like a 10-minute video and everyone already forgot about it. So make sure you got your goals in mind before you get out there with the camera, and you get a good editor too, because that'll make all the difference in the world, is having somebody who knows what they're doing behind the lens. And I have a couple ideas if you want to email me. There's a couple of really good people. Chris on the West Coast, a couple of people here on the East Coast. So let me know. I probably put